Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Bottle, you better take that shit with you.
Okay.
Peace, and divine love. You are tapped into Tapped In Talk Radio. I am one of your co-hosts, Osa. Just grateful to be here today on this lovely post-love day.
Post-love day, side chick day,
it's side chick day, huh? It is side chick day, huh? The
It's
next day.
Applebee's day.
It's supposed to be half off chocolate day too, or some shit like that.
It's gonna be what? Half our chocolate?
Yeah, all the candy supposed to be on sale now or something like that. Yeah.
The Valentine's Day candy.
That makes sense.
So we have our two co-hosts in the house. Next to me, I have the lovely Tanisha.
Hey everybody.
How you doing today?
I'm doing okay. It's been a couple. Well, we wasn't on the air last week, but yeah, I'm glad to be here today. It was kind of wondering how the weather was gonna be, as the day progressed, because we did start out with some snow, but that's cleared up. So
Yeah.
winter blues dissipating. I hope spring is on the way. I think, did we already have Groundhog's Day?
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago.
What happened?
The sun was up.
So we go.
You know I work with seniors, so they be on
yeah,
that.
because in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So we got more winter or little winter, shortened winter or longer winter.
We have shorter winter.
Oh, we got a shorter winter. That means he saw a shadow. He didn't see. He saw a
He
shadow.
saw a shadow. Yep.
He saw a shadow. Whew, thank goodness.
But had that snow today with this
Yeah.
Michigan weather,
That Michigan
Snow
weather.
flurries.
Yeah.
How
So
you
we
doing,
also
Tim?
have Champ.
Okay.
What up, though?
What's going on,
Hello,
champ?
everybody. Shit.
How you feeling today?
I feel great. Wake up this morning, blessed.
Yeah.
I'm around all good peoples.
Started me
Yeah.
on my way.
What?
It's
What
a
is you
song.
singing? What song is that?
It's a gospel song. Woke me up this morning.
Oh, sorry.
Got
me
myself
on
a gun.
my way.
Oh, my bad.
Come on now.
Hey, whatever gets you going.
Yeah. Boy, my dog Nas.
That's funny. Well, we took a break last week. So how do y'all feel being back? How was y'all week off?
Oh, it was great, productive.
Yeah.
Got a lot of stuff done.
My week has been full of family matters.
Yeah.
Right?
Family matters.
Family matters.
So was you Urkel? Was you
Laura.
No.
Yeah, Laura.
No, I probably was like some kind of big mama or something, but I don't know.
Miss Winslow.
Yeah, that wig wasn't right, but still.
Well, hence your hat.
Hey, you sure you got a hat on?
I know, ain't no wig.
What's
No,
your
I'm
wig
just saying,
look like?
ain't
That's
no
what I
bad
just
wig.
said. That's exactly what I said. Your
no
wig
bad-
ain't right
ain't no
today.
bad
So
wig.
that makes two of you.
She was
Right.
on TV every week with that wig, with that mullet like wig. But I can be Miss Smith. I would say Family Matters, but even more so, I keep up with the universe and what's going on in the universe. So when it's something acknowledged, then I can see it kind of playing out on this 3D level, right? So because of things that's going on in the universe with Pluto and Mars and all this kind of stuff, it's really a conflict bound type energy. So I just seem like just managing conflicts and trying to stay out of conflicts. Because it's and that when you learn that, you see how other people are playing into that energy unconsciously, right? And so being aware helps me to be, avoid some of the conflict and everything. But it takes a lot out of me because a lot of people are functioning from an unconscious level that don't know that they have this energy with them that they drawing from externally. They just think it's coming from the inside, but it's coming from the outside, so they don't know how to really manage it or control it. So
So it's a two-way highway.
yeah, it's a two-way highway. To be conscious of it is to be aware, and you can be self-aware, you can be aware of other people, which is why I keep up with stuff like that. But again, most people don't, so you have a lot of people that's not conscious of it, and then that just breeds conflict because conflict is essentially in the air. So I've been feeling that, but nevertheless, I still feel all the other aspects of what's going on and the positivity of this shift that's occurring right now, and I see that, and I'm glad about that.
There is definitely a shift.
Yeah,
I felt a major
telling
shift
you.
yesterday.
It's like a pressure release, because I don't even know why. When we talked about the age of Aquarius, was that our last show? Oh my goodness, I don't know why, but it's like you don't know how something gonna happen, but it just starts to happen. It's just like, well, damn. And then you see other people on the same stuff, and it's just like, well, goodness, we are really, we really moving here
Collectively.
Yeah, it's like you like when you're on a cruise ship. It's like, wait a minute, we really moving.
Yeah.
We moving now. So I see it, like in my Facebook, people's statuses and things is happening. I would say one thing that I'm not really very pleased about, or that makes me, even with all the positivity and the positive shift occurring, it draws me back, is the death. Still yet a lot of deaths occurring, senseless deaths, and a lot of violence is occurring.
You don't think that's part of life?
I think that's part of life, but I think it's kind of, like I said,
It's been revved up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm saying these energies and this unconsciousness of these energies is bringing a lot of death.
It's part of the
I look
shift.
at it as, this infinite intelligence and their ultimate plan. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to sit there
Absolutely.
and see more of certain things than other times, because it's keeping a balance.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
the world is
But
overpopulated.
We using the world is never overpopulated. Not at all.
It is overpopulated.
Do you know how much? Do you know how much
we're maybe
land?
confined and constricted into certain places too.
certain-
In the United
We're
States,
overcrowded
Yeah,
in
in the
certain-
United
overcrowded,
States,
yeah.
right?
We ain't overpopulated.
In the United States,
world
how
is
much land is occupied by us?
It's a lot
by
of
human beings?
vacant land.
It's a lot of but
So-
when you consider like the
Land versus masses of people,
stuff that's been set aside for preservation, right, and stuff like that.
and that's
that is a lot
man
of
set
land.
by
But that's not
preservation
really
versus
habitable. We
our
gotta think
human
of
rights
where
of this
you
land.
can-
We're
where-
entitled to this land.
Yes, but not all land is habitable. You can't.
It is
It
habitable.
is.
It
But
is.
Antarctica
You can-
is the only thing that's not habitable.
You
Everything
might can
else is
cultivate,
habitable.
but you have to consider infrastructure and all that. To,
And we
to
create
make these
infrastructure.
things able to.
If
We
they
create-
can create whole man-made islands in Dubai,
But you
Yeah.
got to consider and see. We're gonna get into this topic. Also gonna bring us into it, but this is why I say.
Let's say United
Let
States.
me just say why I say even the United States.
We only occupied 20% of the land,
but
and
never-
the
but-
other
but
80% is
even
habitable.
In the United States,
We just lack
consider
resources,
how-
really.
That's where I'm going. Right, it's the resource aspect.
We have all the
of it.
resources. God gave
It's
us
just-
all the
I
resources
mean,
to live.
it's available, but people don't really have it
It
at
is
hand
not-
to
it's not
implement
Right,
it.
infinite.
exactly. So
Yeah.
we need to focus on that
The
before
resources are not infinite.
what? The resources.
Like it's only so much oil in the ground. It's only so much ocean water on. I mean, all this
This
stuff
world,
is finite.
this
Maybe
world
it's
is
just-
75% water.
Yes, and
So
that's-
we have enough water.
but it's not.
Hmm?
It's salt water that has to be
Do
converted.
you know what the
to
salt water
a
does to
water
the body?
I don't know, but it's not a. We can't drink with it. We can't cook
It's
with it.
created. We can
use
do
it
a
in
lot
the
with salt
bathroom.
water. We can do a lot
have
with
to
salt
convert
water.
it. We have to work on it though. It's not like we can get it out.
So how
get
much
it off
percentage
the
is salt
bucket
water
it
to
out the
fresh
ocean.
water, right? And God gave us the free will to think to create inventions to use this earth.
And we will, but that's what that's why they have all this, and they talk about the climate control, global warming, all that.
That's a bunch of
we
bullshit.
are depleting the resources.
That's
I
more
don't
of
know.
a that's more
It's
of an
Mother Earth. We're
inner.
talking about Mother Earth, and we are digging deep.
So this is talking about the divine feminine as well, but that the global warming has more to do with us being the earth and the energy within us awakening. So we are burning up, or we're lighting up. Our energy is rising, which is causing the levels of the frequency and the
I
heat
can
to
see
rise.
Do you know?
It's an inner fire.
Do you know the higher power creates this earth to evolve? So it's stages and chapters that we go through. So you had, let's use the ice age, right? This is dinosaurs, right? So the infinite intelligence.
Fossil fuel, right?
I'll get to that. The higher intelligence created the ice age to kill out the dinosaurs to create a new species, right? So this species that we're in, us, it's only limited. It's only so much time that we're going to be here before it's going to be the next chapter where he creates another species. This is the higher intelligence, because there's no dinosaurs on this earth right now. That was the chapter at the beginning of the earth. He shut it down, froze whole the earth, killed them all, created a whole new species, human beings. Human beings didn't habitat the earth at the same time as dinosaurs.
I think we did, but we
I
were
think
just
we did
we were
too.
giants
Right.
then, though.
We were giants. So we got ice preserved
Humanoids.
dinosaurs. We got
Yeah.
ice preserved dinosaurs, right?
Okay.
That we found, but we
I think
don't
they was our
have
pets.
we don't have not one ice preserved human being that dates back to dinosaurs.
I think a Tyrannosaurus Rex is a prehistoric giant chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say more like a dog or
It's
something.
evolution.
I could
But
see the
like the
chicken.
arms.
Yeah,
It's evolution. Mammals
Definitely.
with cows.
Because they say birds are dinosaurs, right?
because all animals evolve.
The
No,
bird-
no.
and dinosaurs
Crocodiles
evolved
and
the birds.
turtles are the only dinosaurs that we still have on this earth.
And,
right
and
now.
I
I, think
agree.
whales too. Whales.
Whale- well, yeah, whales.
A whale could
Yeah,
be
whales
one.
and dolphins.
I never thought of that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, like sperm whales, them big,
Yeah.
huge
Right.
motherfuckers.
And
They date back,
They hold
Yeah.
they're known as the orcas, and they hold a lot of intelligence.
and they're very intelligent.
Yes.
Because they've been on this.
They
earth
hold, like, the
longer than
Akashic
everything
records of the
else.
sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hold all the information.
I was just reading a story that dolphins have like slang languages for us. Like, you know, we call each other niggas. Like dolphins
They
have
communicate.
derogatory
Right.
words about us. And the reason why I believe is because they're so intelligent that, like, they really have a higher intelligence if you actually read into
They
them.
like
and
have a
study
brain
them.
of a baby almost. You know, I'm like
It-
developed. You know what I'm saying? Like they develop.
Because babies
They have
come
a
in
brain.
smart.
'Cause
They come in
mammals.
with all the information already. That's what
Yeah.
she mean. I know
It's
what she
already
mean. by it.
yeah, it's already in the DNA.
He looked like what?
But
The brain
Sorry,
of a
sorry
baby,
if
like,
that
hold
went
on,
over
wait a
your
minute.
head. That's sorry if that went over your head.
Yeah.
all right, follow up on this
I
one.
had to clean it up. I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Earth to Tanisha. Earth to Tanisha.
Oh, so I guess that brings us into our topic today. Today we are talking about divine feminine energy. So I want to ask first, like, when you think of divine feminine energy, like, what comes to mind? Champ, I want to ask you first.
I look at it as the description of a woman and their purpose on this earth.
Okay.
Divine. So, you know,
Natural,
that-
a woman who's naturally natural
Right.
herself.
what
Yes.
they do naturally without other influences. You know what I'm saying? If I sit there and this woman, she doesn't use the Bible to go about her business. She doesn't use her elders per se to go about her business. This is what I feel inside my soul. This is my role as a woman on this earth with my counterpart partner is my role with this person. You know what I'm saying? So when you have this conversation with women, well, this is what a woman's supposed to do, this and that. It's not that you paraphrasing what somebody else telling you. It's telling you what are you saying to yourself, despite anything else, your femininity. You know what I'm saying? So by your DNA, y'all are nurturing, caring. You know,
Our nature.
right.
Our true nature.
So, you know, you hear about men are providers, women are providers also in their own role. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always sitting there saying a man is a provider, a woman is a provider also in their own aspect. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so if a woman is making sure a man eats every day, right? I should consider him a provider. Correct?
He's a consumer.
What?
Like, how is he providing if he consuming? You can't be both.
I said if a woman is making sure this man eats every day, she's providing for him.
Yes, and he's consuming.
Speaking of eating, shout
Why
out
she
to the
got
fruit.
Never mind. I'm not even going.
It's a question. Like, what the fuck? What's wrong?
Listen, what it is
What's
just
wrong?
answer the question that he's asking you without inserting
So,
an extra narrative.
No, it's not right. He's a consumer at that point. He's not.
I didn't say nothing about
It's
the
not
man.
about him.
I'm saying the
It's not about why
woman's
you
role.
fixated on
She's
him.
considered a provider if she's making sure this man
She's
eats.
providing a meal. Yes.
Come up this way, some
Absolutely.
champ.
I'm sorry.
That's it.
Don't misconstrue if we have like a.
It's gonna be misconstrued if you
a
sit there and add a
little
little extra on it.
Well,
because
you-
we'll
it's-
get to the
it's-
man
it's
topic,
okay,
but
you
we're talking about
gotta
femininity.
understand in my
You're down. You're
my
down.
knowledge, experience, and my understanding. You see, I was just off the earth a minute ago. So
Where was you
gotta
at, on
respect
Saturn?
that. No, I think I was probably like on Jupiter.
That's the problem. we on Earth.
Yeah, I gotta get back in the 3D
Yeah, get
thought.
back in your shuttle.
So if
Get
I'm
back
just
in your
giving you
shuttle.
a meal, then I'm providing you a meal,
Yeah,
and therefore it makes me a provider.
absolutely.
Okay.
Or providing
The
love.
thing, the man
Hey, look.
provides what the man provides what the woman needs in a relationship, and the woman provides what the man needs. That's the point that
Absolutely.
he's making.
Absolutely.
There you go.
I think it's more so of like the man providing that physical comfort, security, protection.
It's just that the role
And then
of the
the woman-
protector and provider is always
and-
emphasized
yeah.
in the man's role.
Yeah.
I mean,
But the
But it should
women-
be emphasized in the women
the
role,
women
so the
do-
women will feel
But it's more of
equal
a
to the
spiritual.
man.
Like
There
the
you
women,
go.
the women protect the man spiritually, and the
Right.
man protects the woman
Physically.
physically.
So
you know,
you
so-
have all what the woman provides that needs to be expressed also.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where women sit there and think they downplay because it's always man providing, man providing. No, women are
appreciate you
providing
saying that.
also too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But y'all women not saying that. Y'all always sitting there saying man
I mean,
providing.
it's usually
women,
challenged. Honestly, it's always challenged by men.
But you know what? You
It
fix
really
your crown,
is.
doesn't matter.
It really
I mean, it
If
don't
it's
matter.
being
And
challenged.
most,
So,
a
I'm
wise
glad-
woman won't argue it. She'll just let it be. You know.
it's not argue. It's keep on reiterating that. You know what I'm saying?
So
It's when in
glad
conversation
you
where
saying that.
a woman will sit there and be like, "We provide too."
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that the average man is not going to argue. If the woman say I provide, I make sure you eat, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That man's going to accept it. You know what I'm saying? He's going to come to a point where we both are providers. So
Mm-hmm.
we are equal. You know what I'm saying? We're not 50-50, we are 100%, 100 with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because in
That's
your role, you provide.
You are
In my
100%
role,
you, and I'm 100% me.
Yeah, that's how
what I
it should
always
be.
say.
Yes.
That's what I always
Absolutely.
Yes.
say.
But
That's
these
so
narratives that we see in social media
It's
and how
crazy.
people change the words up,
It's crazy.
how what the roles are,
Mm-hmm.
stop changing the words up and just use basic English.
Yeah.
Women are providers, men are providers. Women are providers in their role, men are providers in their role.
And they make
so
up the
now we're
whole-
equal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Why they keep on saying we're not equal because they want to sit there and weigh out what this person do and what this person
And we
do.
can't compare.
What?
We can't compare to each other.
Each other, yeah.
We
That's
don't.
where the
Right,
problem
yeah.
comes in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I hate
Right,
that.
because it's we offer and
We
we
totally
and
different.
we give something completely different to
Yes.
each other. So when
Mm-hmm.
we start the game or trying to compare what I do for you and what you do for me, it's always going to be an imbalance because
Mm-hmm.
we are not the same.
Yes.
Well, it's
I'm
imbalanced
so glad
based on your
we're having this
perspective,
Conversation.
Yeah.
We are balanced. If you stand at the higher power, just like if you got kids,
No,
Yeah.
but it causes turbulence and causes an imbalance.
It's like
when
a
the
seesaw.
battle,
It becomes
when the battle-
competition. It
yeah,
becomes
yeah, yeah, yeah.
competition.
you're right. We have
And
a
that's
seesaw.
patriarchy.
It will go
Patriarchy
back
has
and
distorted
forth, but
all
at the
this.
end of the day, it will be even. You know
That's
what I'm
if
saying?
you have the right two people, though, champ.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm just
because-
talking
yeah,
general.
like,
I'm
yeah.
just talking general how we are created. If we go
Because to say
by,
that means that it's always just going to balance out no matter what because
Yeah,
we
but
are
you-
men
but
and
that's
women.
where you
it's
have
not
to
to
be
check the
equally yoked, 'cause you
scoreboard.
have to
It's
be
when you
equally
take a
yoked.
scoreboard. That's when you see the unbalance versus
making that
you don't.
list of who did
Yeah,
what and
that
how much.
comparison,
Like
that
that.
So I want to read one of the
That's right.
comments.
Yeah.
The real Mr. Johnson said, "Bottom line, you got to be able to provide and protect for yourself first, and then for each other."
Self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that.
Absolutely.
You got to come whole already, or healing,
Mm-hmm.
very aware of self, knowing, what you bring to the table, what you represent,
Right.
the energy you push out, and y'all come together and build, Where
And-
I lack, you may be stronger. Where you lack, I'm gonna be stronger.
That-
But
that's
it's
what
that- it's
creates
that
everybody
Everybody
balance.
ain't honest about that part
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
About what I lack. They don't. They wear the mask and make themselves look complete and whole,
Yeah.
and insert themselves into a situation, and now it crumbles because it's built
Yeah.
off of a false
facade.
foundation.
Delusion,
Yeah.
delusion, and we come into a
Delusion,
place
exactly.
where it's like delusions have to be cast down because we have to acknowledge these energies that are at play externally. Everything is not really internally, right? Like some energies are at play externally; they influence you on a whole, on an unconscious level. And so when we're talking about stuff like when we talk about divine feminine, it's and you notice this because I'm thinking one way, but we were saying the exact same thing. We were just using different terms.
Because I'm a man,
but-
you're a woman.
Exactly, and that's why I always
So I speak
appreciate
from a
me and
man
your
perspective.
conversations, and I always have to push you a little bit because you coming from that side, I'm coming from, and it's okay because you are a man and I am a woman, so we have a different viewpoint of things, even if it's the same thing
Right.
we
But are
see.
you
we
willing?
see it
Are you
from a
willing to
different
accept?
angle.
Are you willing to accept that viewpoint?
We have to because it's reality.
Yeah, we gotta
We
accept
talking
each
about
other's.
reality.
Yeah.
So your reality is reality is, what do they say? Perception
Okay,
is
this is
reality.
just
And
a
both-
general
both
question.
truths
Do-
are-
Like, no
do
delusion.
do today women generally accept men's viewpoint?
I don't.
Absolutely not.
I don't.
The
I
average
don't
woman,
think
no.
we do, and I don't think we should.
Well,
You just contradicted
no,
yourself.
I
No,
wouldn't
I
say
didn't.
not should.
No, I didn't.
I said, do you accept men's viewpoint? You said yes.
let me
Yeah.
parse that
Yeah.
out, right? Let me just parse that out
Yeah.
because you have to speak. I think of things in a statistical manner, numbers matter, right?
We all do.
Okay, so we acknowledge that most people are average and below, right? Average is average and below is below. You know what I'm saying? Most people are average and below. A lot of people have not input enough self-development to be in a position where they can discern who they are listening to and what they're listening to outside of their own ideas and delusion. And a lot of people can't, and then you have people who can't discern, their leadership. Right? It's like I'm lording over you. I'm not really, I'm my leader. My purpose, my leadership is not really about the greater good or preserving the earth or doing something grand. My leadership is about getting my ego
Or
fed.
feeding your ego.
You know what I'm saying? And they use
is this
and so
divine
I think,
femininity?
and that's why we talk about divine femininity, because it's a lot of times you think that to be femininity is just blindly listening to men. Whatever they say.
No, that's
going
not
along.
true.
No,
No.
y'all can't say what women think. First,
We
of
didn't
all.
say we
Okay, so
did.
let me see.
We didn't say that.
Let me ask you if
Yeah.
I understand. Let me see if I understand what you're saying. So you saying that you saying that women shouldn't listen to men all the time because number one, and let me finish
Blindly.
what you
She said blindly.
blindly,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
number one, they may be too gullible themselves and may be led astray, or I guess it's kind of the same thing. The men may not have leadership qualities and capabilities enough to be the leaders. Basically, what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's
I think
that's exactly what I'm saying.
So
Somewhat, yes.
that's understandable, but at
That's
the same
why I
time,
don't-
I guess that's why he brought up being the divine feminine and being naturally who you are and knowing who you are. Because if that's the case, then you wouldn't lean on somebody else for your validation.
And that's why we're talking about this, because we all have divine feminine energy. Women have
But
we all have it, males and females.
The direction I
It
was
has to be,
going
like,
is
unlocked.
Males have divine femininity.
Yeah.
Yes,
No, there's
yes.
divine masculine men.
We all have these.
We all
divine
have feminine
energies.
energy
Yes.
and masculine
Feminine
energy
and
within
masculine,
us.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, we all have these
But
energies.
I
within
think
us.
what makes
Would
it
y'all
divine.
Go ahead.
So
that you're
dealing with
truly a woman.
divinity, or just the word divine, it means to be like or of God or God-like.
Right.
So this is someone who has tapped into like their full expression of self. They're
whole
fully
purpose.
self-aware. They have done the healing where it's a pure channel of just feminine energy. The direct reflection of source energy. What would divine feminine energy look like? You would think about God, or you'll think of women, say like in Hollywood, like Felicia Rashad or Eartha Kitt. Like these women who have this just grace about them. Fully self-aware,
They are very
emotionally
blessed.
intelligent.
They're very blessed.
And the average woman today is not raised under this type
That
of
umbrella,
programming, and this
yeah.
is where I think Tanisha is coming from, because I believe her point where she just came from speaks about like patriarchy and how we have these ideas, or we were taught certain ideas about who we are and who they taught women to be in the last couple thousand or hundred years.
You
It's
ever
completely
listen-
off the mark
you ever
of who we
listen to,
are. Yeah.
Felicia Rashad in the interview,
Oh, I love when she speaks.
right? Do you even know her background?
Not
What she been
fully-
through?
Not fully, no.
You know what I'm saying? She went from, getting into acting, getting this industry, beating a drug addiction. Right?
Really?
Man, what?
Mm.
You know who her husband was?
It was the
What's the
sportscaster?
Yeah, the sportscaster.
Okay, I know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Rashad.
So Rashad, yeah.
Mm.
So both of them was both in the entertainment industry, right? But her personal things weren't being broadcasted because of her role on the Bill Cosby, right? You know who's her sister?
Denise
No.
Allen.
What's
Gibson.
Debbie Allen.
Debbie Allen,
Debbie
you know?
Allen, the dancer.
So you sit there and see like
Fame.
with media, they showed them both in a different role. But if you listen to they talk, you can understand
the
they
same.
come from the same home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They produce the same energy. They are both femininity intelligent. You know what I'm saying? When you sit there and see Felicia Rashad on the Cosby Show and anything else, she always encountered conflict as a feminine woman. She never took a masculinity role to address a conflict. You know what I'm saying? She didn't put bass in her voice. She didn't get aggressive. She used her femininity.
And I'm so glad you kind of went there, right?
Yeah.
Because I I wouldn't say I resent, right? Because I was a tomboy coming up for whatever reason.
Sorry to
right?
hear that.
I know, right? My mama.
Well, I was a tomboy too. Don't do
Look,
that.
my mama really wanted a boy.
Oh, you was too?
I was.
Sorry to hear that.
I was playing basketball, football.
That's not masculinity.
I was wearing baggy
Yeah.
clothes.
No, I was.
When you
had
take on a
all
man
these-
role, that's masculinity.
No, my
I
mom
was hanging
wanted a
with the
boy
fellas.
when I was born, and so when I was born, she started buying me cars and shit, and boy bikes, and I was a real tomboy. Not like she still kept my hair up. I was still a girl, and I knew I was a girl.
But
when
she still named you Tanisha. That's not a.
Yeah, but it was popular at the time, like Tanisha's, Tamika. I was born
Bonquisha.
during that time. But my idea is that so often, and I can only speak for women who think that femininity is about a soft voice, a hairdo, makeup, a switch, a walk.
It is.
And it's not.
But
Because a transvestite
It's how
can
they
have
put.
all
No,
that.
no, we ain't
They
gonna go
can-
there.
It can be
We ain't go
wait
there.
a minute, because it's women who do all
They
that
just-
acts,
they just
and they
study
put
and
all
admire.
that on, and they put all that on just to manipulate your ass.
When a
and you
woman
think,
in a
oh,
soft
such a nice
voice,
woman, and her whole motive is
this
wrong.
what I'm saying. And a woman
You
with a
can be
soft
fooled by
voice can choose her words carefully.
That
And
comes
be
from
so
Not
wisdom.
powerful.
because men can do it too.
What,
and they
softly?
don't. Men can talk soft.
And then you gonna accept it?
All women, a divine woman, right? The right kind of woman, but even still, then, right, in the wrong type of a conversation, in the wrong climate, that still wouldn't be accepted by a woman.
What?
Just talking softly, right? Because now talking softly to a woman, and this is my experience, is a green light for them to talk over you.
Yep.
That's,
And now when
that's-
and that and
To
that's
an
Now,
unhealed
don't take
woman.
don't
Yeah,
take
that's
your
what I'm saying.
personal.
But
Don't
that's
take your
what
personal
but see-
thinking. We talking
Yeah,
I
general. We
wasn't
talking
thinking about it
statistics.
personally. I was just thinking about the condition of patriarchy and the pushback that women have, not knowing why they have this pushback. Right?
You got
they
children,
have
right?
This pushback.
You got
Yes.
children, right?
Yes, I have 2 girls.
So
and
when
2
your
boys.
children was toddlers, right? Mm-hmm. The father comes in with that bass, that baritone in his voice,
he already has that.
gets a different reaction out of the children as the mother talks with a soft tone, right? So you get a different. The mother gets a different relationship with the child, and the father gets a different relation with the child. That father comes in, and when that child hears that bass and that baritone in that voice, it's a different reaction out of that child.
response.
You can have.
But
Chemically,
and
it's
I
different.
understand.
Thank you.
There's a chemical response. There's a chemical reaction because we do like to.
So
talk
it's
about
going
stuff
back to
that-
what he said. If a man sit there and talk with a soft tone, that woman is going to react differently if he talks with a bass tone and baritone. It starts as a child.
Well,
It starts as a child.
I don't think
I
that
see
is
it, but I
true
think it
because
goes.
I'm saying I feel like this. Just like a woman knows how to use her tone. She knows when to speak softly, and she knows when to assert herself. A man is the same way, so you can't say that I always have to speak softly. That
No, we
defines
didn't
my
say that.
femininity.
So does a woman know when
Because
she's
there is
speaking out of
times that I'm
tone,
gonna
if she
be
knows
like,
that?
See, you have to understand when you can speak in a soft tone and be assertive. We're going to go back to Felicia Rashad on the Cosby Show,
Did you see
right?
Monique in
When-
the Shay Shay
Thank you,
interview?
sister.
Yeah.
I see
right.
some of it.
When she sit there and talk, she talks with a very soft
Who?
tone. Monique. She talks with a very soft tone, but very assertive. She calms everything down. Listen,
We're not talking about
listen
on
to Kat.
stage, Monique,
Listen,
the
Shay.
comedian.
Yeah.
When
When she talks, she talks with a feminine voice, and she was like, she brings.
First of all. Come on, y'all.
No,
Let's
we
bring it
be
to
talking about
reality.
women.
We talking about women.
We've talking about people's roles that they play. Right? They're accustomed to acting. And that's my whole point about this femininity idea and how it's a it can be performative. And you have,
It's not
and
a
you have
on
to
and
be
off,
like, it's
though,
not
Not
a,
with-
if
with
it's
divine
performative, it's not
feminine.
divine.
that's
Yeah,
what
that's-
I'm saying.
that's the
it's not about
opposite.
the exterior. It's not about what you are.
Projecting.
It's somewhat. It is about projecting because you want to project that divine feminine. You don't want to. I think about this, and we talked about this. My archetype of a divine feminine is like a big mama, right? Like, you don't mistake big mama for being masculine. You know that's big mama. She's nurturing. She's caring. If big mama have to get on you, she gonna get on you.
How
And she
does-
might not
hold
have
on.
a soft voice when big mama is time because big mama probably
But 90% of the time, 90% of the time, Medea, Big Mama has a soft.
That's what I mean. There you
Hold
go
on,
with that.
hold
With
on,
that
hold on.
feminine.
That's-
I'm about to go
that's
to it.
so
I'm about to go to
real
it. Hold
that
on,
it
hold on,
comes
hold on,
with-
hold on, hold on, hold on.
No, don't talk about
Why
no
sit there-
performances.
I'm not
talking
talking
real
about.
shit.
I'm going back to your point. where this is a man portraying as Big Mama, right? But he used masculinity to portray Big Mama, right? Most of us don't have a Medea in our family, Big Mama, that acts like Medea, right? So that goes back to the acting. Most of our grandmothers spoke. Most of our grandmothers spoke with an assertive tone, with a soft voice. Most of us didn't have grandmothers that was in the house screaming. Most of us didn't have grandmothers that raised their voice. They spoke very soft.
Can you imagine why her voice was soft though? You know, like that's
because she talks
wisdom, of learning,
exactly.
of learning how to talk
with intelligence,
having strategy on what words, what approach, what tone.
So why didn't she ever raise her voice? Why didn't she ever put bass in her voice? Because she used her femininity, divinity.
The energy alone is powerful
from the beginning.
Well,
from the beginning.
I'm not, because of the times in which we are in, and thinking about the structures and that has been placed upon us, which are sometimes contradictory to our actual nature. I think that we have got the further like if you tell me something and then I have to pass a secret along, it's going to be different as it goes along, right? Mm-hmm. Which is the same thing with some of these social mores and this stuff that we have an idea about, right? So if you closer to the source of the actual information, so you might be more feminine, you might be this way. But by the time you get to me, that has trickled down a little bit. That has not wore off, but it has faded.
It's not per se
down to the next person.
It's not an act or it's not a subscription. It's not like a certain archetype that you have to try to become. It's just you tapping into the divine within you. So when you become a godly woman or woman of God, or tapping into your God-like being, that essence naturally speaks for itself. So a divine feminine woman is a woman who is self-aware, who has done the work to heal herself, who is very conscious on, how she puts herself out there, how she builds the family, mothers, how she loves on her family, how she nurtures, wives, how she holds space for the man. Because at the end of the day, the divine feminine is always mama, even to the men. Mm-hmm. The men still need their mama. You know, so when their mama is gone, they lean on their woman, who is that divine feminine, who comes in and still nurtures. They don't like it, Osa. They don't like what you're saying. They may not.
No, I'm listening. I have not disturbed you. See,
dismissing. I don't think
no, we have reactions. We are human beings. We have reactions, but we did not disturb her, interrupt her.
I don't think that they have a.
What I don't like about that is she looked at Chap's reaction and blanketed me with it as well.
Yeah.
But
I definitely knew Mark was in tone.
You stretch shit way too much.
I'm sorry, I didn't look at you. I just assumed there was a consensus. It was a little consensus.
Yeah, I definitely was getting confirmation from Mark while I was talking.
Thank you, Mark, for confirmation.
But yeah, these are women who are very self-aware and have done the work, who are vulnerable, who understand being open, expressing themselves, just allowing themselves to be emotional, not being hard, Don't be a hard rock when you really are a gem.
But it's what you said, right? It's what you said when you was like, with femininity, the divinity is where a woman is repairing herself. Or you used a different phrase.
I don't know exactly what I said.
Yeah, you said like self-repairing themselves.
Yeah, doing the work on self. Yes,
doing the work on themselves, right? So when we sit there and look at today's women, they're looking at the man to repair themselves. They come with the traumatization. Oh, I need a man that's going to sit there and accept who I am. Mm-hmm. So that man has to be the counselor, has to be the therapist, has to be the psychologist.
Like we're just supposed to deal with all of your shit the way that you're not supposed to evolve. We're just supposed to.
And you're not doing no self-repair, but we have to accept it.
All the while holding the mirror up in our faces, telling us what we need to be better at.
See, that's
tending to this and tending to that.
And this is not the general consensus of all women.
Right.
And then when we say things, right, I believe that when women say things, they have this notion that what they're saying is whether they want to admit it or not about all men. So when they hear things,
on them, and
so
when
they hear us say the things, they apply it as if we're saying it to all women. And
they taking it personally.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm thinking, and it's okay.
Sometimes, all the time.
Is the calling lines open? I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's open the calling line so we can take some direction. But a lot of times when I'm thinking in regards on this subject or topic, I'm pretty much evaluating not so much as like the I'm always growing. I'm always I'm always trying to, and I think a lot of people are. Maybe they don't know how, but they have the first step is to have a desire to do so, and so I don't think that. A lot of times, if I'm speaking generally, I say all men. I'm usually saying something like average and below, which is a majority, right? And that's how I'm thinking. Or I'm thinking in terms of scientific, like males have more testosterone. Testosterone does this. Women have more estrogen. Estrogen does this. I'm thinking of it in that manner as well. If I categorize a man in a certain way, I'm saying that scientifically speaking, males have this characteristic because they are males and they have a different chemical makeup, and we are females and we have a different chemical
What's
makeup.
going on, Carla? Who is this and where you calling from?
Thank you.
Peace. It's Tatiana, and I am calling from Florida.
Hey,
What's up? What's
Tati.
up? Tati from Florida.
Tati was just with
Hey,
us 2
gang,
weeks ago.
gang.
Gang,
How y'all
gang.
doing?
Gang.
Feminine women say
I
gang,
got
gang. We a gang too.
I got
Yes,
a
Divine
sister
Feminine
that's on
gang.
the side of
See
me.
there, y'all gonna try to be masculine.
Look,
You be
I-
canceling out your
It's
femininity.
Man,
called
why?
balance.
Hold on. Why did you call him bro?
It's called
Why did you
balance.
call her bro?
I didn't call her bro.
I said, why didn't you call her bro?
Oh, I don't do that.
The average women call each other bro.
I'm not the average woman.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
I am not the average woman.
Hey, what's Florida? Hey, what's Florida talking about? Hey, Florida.
What you like to
Okay,
share,
so
love?
I have also Sincere right next to me as well, and we were listening to y'all talking about all of this divine feminine energy and going back and forth, and I wanted to speak on the topic when Osarango was talking about how the woman becomes the mother and the nurturer for that man, you know what I'm saying? Like, in that role is her responsibility, and as something that me and my friends have been talking about, that is something that we speak about quite often, is the responsibility that women are not willing to take or wanting to take because of the societal structures that have been placed upon them. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever it is, because once you remove the black man from the household, that created a cycle of really destruction and a woman going into independence, you know what I'm saying, which made her not want to nurture, love, nor care for a man, because it was like, you know what I'm saying, like they felt like he wasn't there, or whatever the story may have been for whatever the time is.
And if I may, let me hop in here real
Come
quick.
on,
This
Stelly.
is good stuff.
Come on.
Okay, I just wanted to make a response to when baby girl was talking about the feminine aspect and how presenting himself, and then when it came to the man, how he can do that as well. Well, let me make something clear.
I'm so controversial.
I always make this example of, imagine that you and your mate are on a date and you're at a restaurant and somebody sits next to y'all and he says, I'm on a blind date. While he's sitting there, the young lady comes in and sits down and she says, hey, it's so nice to meet you. You are very beautiful, like this and that. And he says to her, hey, I'm going to need you to hype up something. I'm going to need you to put some bass in your voice. My mother used to talk to us all soft like that, and she left my father. So you talking all soft like that traumatizes me. This is how I think about it when a woman is telling me why you got to talk like that, why you can't soften your voice. No. How would it sound for us to tell y'all, put some bass in your voice, stand up and use your hands when you're talking to me, shorty, okay? Listen, I need you to get hyped. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
That don't make sense. So to
money.
ask a man to start talking like y'all don't make no sense. And let me also add on real quick that we used to have rites of passages and initiations. So a woman would never, ever, ever say, oh, a man can do that too. Who gave you the right to be able to say that? No disrespect. But it's the men who's supposed to train and teach these young boys. And you all should be telling the young girls what they should be doing and how they should be conducting themselves. And if we get back to that, oh man, in the next 20 years, our community would change. And
I
I'm
don't
gonna
want to
leave
be
it at that.
misconstrued when I said men can do that too, right? Because when we talk about communication and tone, men don't often have to always don't have to speak aggressively.
No.
They don't.
Hold
They
on.
don't.
Hold on.
And they
Hold on.
don't.
Hold on. Difference between talking aggressive
Okay.
and assertive.
I don't want to do the definition trial either. I'm saying in terms of speaking, we all know
If you knew the
it's like don't
definition-
talk to me like that. We know that
So do you want a
men
man- so a
can
man
be
can't
very
talk to you
dogmatic
assertive?
in their communication about minimum
When
things
a man, it's a difference
because
between
of testosterone.
It's a difference between a man talking assertive
Where
and a
there-
man
where
talking
there's
aggressive, because you have to know the different
No
of the
woman-
definition.
I mean,
no man don't
if
talk
Assertive.
rites of passage. If we had
Hold
rites
on,
of
hold on one
wait,
second, Seven.
If we had rites of passage, is a lot of men wouldn't even be
A lot of
considered
women-
able to mate with women.
A lot of
They
women
wouldn't
I
make
wanna-
use a
it
man
in a
talking
natural
passionate
sense.
as
You
him
damn
being
right.
ignorant.
Yeah.
A lot of
Right,
men
I
wouldn't even
agree.
make it.
People take
So
passionate
now
talk aggressive
so
anyway.
today, so
Bingo.
As a Leo,
Bingo.
look as a Leo, like
Passion-
Leos are passionate.
Passionate talk
we
is
get
assertive
taken-
talk.
We get taken for being
Passionate talk-
because
aggressive.
we passionate,
Yeah.
right? Or
Passionate talk is
But
verbal.
now it's
assertive
like,
talk.
but see, here's the thing. Now what happens is it's like,
So-
now they can
so-
turn your
so
tone
coming
down because now they're
from-
not
wait,
looking at the words.
I wanna
They're
say-
hearing the words. They
Listen
taking
to-
your
Yes.
tone.
listen to-
Hold on, I want you to. I
What-
want
Go
the
ahead,
caller
sister.
to be.
Wait a
What
minute.
you say?
I wanna
Undivided,
I
yes.
wanna say real quick.
Yeah.
I grew up like I told y'all before. I grew up with a father that spoke very assertively and very aggressively. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he got his point across. And anytime when he would speak in a soft and subtle tone, I was afraid. I was scared. You know what I'm saying? Because what's going on? What is about to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, when men are speaking passionately, we have been taught that that's something that we should fear. When in actuality, if that motherfucker
Something
not
that you
saying
should
nothing,
respect.
then that's probably when we
Bingo.
should be the most
Or just
afraid.
listen more.
You know what I'm
I'm not-
saying?
No, let her
But
finish. Let her
because
finish.
We have taken the roles of trying to be men and projecting our energy to be so loud and aggressive. Now we're thinking that they need to calm down and they need to shut up. When in actuality, we need to calm down and shut the fuck up
And
so that
listen.
we can hear what they are saying,
Yes.
so that we can properly be led. The reason that they are so
listen.
aggressive and that they are in the mannerism that they are in is because they have been fighting for their entire
A
lives
battle.
without the
Because they
support
are
of
men.
a black
Because
they are
woman.
men.
Oh,
Like,
so
they're
that's what
equal.
we're supposed to do.
No,
That's
but
so
even
that's
a
what we're
dialogue
supposed to do.
now, though,
men.
it's a fight.
crazy
It's a
shit.
battle to
Are
be
men,
heard.
They have
You know,
testosterone. I mean,
It is.
I don't want to.
But why do we have to fight with you though?
You don't have to fight with women. Some men have, and that's my point exactly. Some men have that fighting spirit within them and misdirect it and feel like because you're my woman, I still need to have
Because
that
you
fighting
making me
spirit.
feel like I'm getting
You don't.
challenged about everything.
Have you ever
But
been in a
that's
room
not-
with
that's-
men
that's not
talking
outs-
just
Hold on.
regularly?
I was
Hold on,
married.
listen
I was,
what P
I was
asked.
married.
Listen to question. Listen to
wait,
question
I'm
from
gonna
P.
listen, but this still my show,
Have
and
you
I'm gonna talk
have you
too.
ever been in a room with men talking to each other, just men only? Have you ever been to a barber shop? Have you ever
Yes.
been to a gym?
And
Listen,
Have
listen,
you
listen
ever
to
been
it.
to
yes,
a
she asked a
basketball
question.
court?
Hold up, caller. Tatiana, just a minute, because I just want to acknowledge this. Of course, I'm probably on the outlier on this mindset because I'm not under patriarchy, so I'm not thinking in that regard. I was married for 20 years. The harshest thing my dad ever said to me, and he didn't even say it harsh. He didn't have to. He said, "Baby girl, you got shit fucked up." That's the heart. And when I told people, I was so taken aback. I was so broken when he said that. My dad never had to cuss at me. He never had to tell me nothing like that. But it was one time I was like, I don't even know what I was on, but he just simply said, "Baby girl, you got shit fucked up." That's all he had to say. That fucking that shocked me right there. He didn't
That's
have to
because you
raise his
respected
voice.
that man.
He didn't, well, talk about that. Talk about the lack of respect. Why your women not respecting you? Because you don't have to browbeat a woman in her divine energy and her feminine that's working out of the feminine divine don't have to be browbeat.
so
Don't have to, because information can come from anybody.
I will add though that dealing with women who have tapped into that divine energy, we don't necessarily have to deal with these type of interactions with men. You know, they do have more room to express themselves. You know, it doesn't have to be a battle. They don't have to talk over us. You know, we know how to listen. It's an equal give and take. It's reciprocal.
But
you know,
what it comes
equal
down
yoke.
to, what it
Equal
comes
yoke.
down
a
to,
woman that don't know herself, she gonna always be defensive.
What it comes down to is if you are talking to a boy or you talking to a man.
Well, in terms of both,
I
I
so-
just feel like
you
men
have
really mastered
She's
some
still
of
on
the
the
phone? Yes.
toxic communication.
I'm
and
still
manipulation.
here.
For her to finish what she was sitting there saying.
Let her finish.
And Seven was saying something too. I had
Yeah, I want
shut him down, my bad.
Tatiana to finish what she was saying.
Go ahead, Tatiana.
So I don't believe that my thought process has anything to do with a patriarchy instead of it having everything to do with being in a community with black men, being raised with black men, being around and having black men in my family. You know what I'm saying? And understanding the roles that they play with each other and how loud and aggressive that it was. And one of my favorite stories to tell is I'm a part of many communities, and one of the communities was a medicine community where it was maybe about 10 different medicine men in one room arguing over different medicine practices and how things are done. And it was all of us women in there as well. And we're watching these men get so aggressive and they're yelling and screaming, and it looks like it's about to be an all-off brawl going on. And they sitting up there afterwards, and they dapping and telling each other how much they love each other, and they laughing, and and it was the most beautiful thing that I had ever seen in my entire life, because they
men can communicate with each other, and they can argue,
to be loud, to be aggressive, to be upset, to be angry, to be themselves, to be heard amongst these women without judgment. They were able to take off their armor and still fight without fear.
What you talking about?
Yep, and still have love present. Like, that's one
still
thing
have love
I respect
present.
about men. Yes.
I think that I heard Kevin Samuels address this issue, right? And I'm totally a person that feel like sometimes women, I said Kevin Samuels. I don't all disagree with a lot of stuff he say, and I think women cause themselves a lot of problems by miscommunicating with men and improperly communicating with men. I know women cause themselves problems by, and he spoke about when two men talk, they speak to each other in a certain kind of way because they know that there's always an underlying current of violence. Right, like there's always is an undercurrent of violence when two men talk. No. Yeah, just that's like she true. Said.
Undercurrent of respect, maybe.
Respect, not violence.
I don't want. I can't. This is exactly what she just said.
No, she didn't speak
wait
on
a minute.
violence.
Let me just finish what his
not
point is, because we're gonna drop the callers pretty soon, so we can get somebody else to call in. But I'm saying that men, when the men talk to men, they know those lines not to cross. Like, I can say this, however I want to say it, long as I don't say this, I know me and this person are not going. Wait a minute, I'm just talking about what Kevin Samuel said, and I agree with. Men know that. So when women communicate with men, we don't know those lines. So women sometimes miscommunicate, cross those lines, and now they in danger. You can put yourself in danger by miscommunicating with a man. Period. Because you don't know how a man gonna take it. And I just would want men to be more respectful of women when they communicate with women, because they have to take into consideration they own manage your emotions.
So how come you ain't say what women should be more respectful when they communicate with men? Why wasn't that?
I didn't just say that. I said it's a danger.
Can I add a neutral perspective to that?
It's not a danger. It's not a danger when they talking to a man. Because a man is going to sit there. This dude, because we're talking about a man. I'm about to explain to you. We're talking about a man. No, we're sitting there talking about a man. A man, divine masculinity is to protect a woman. So regardless, whatever woman says, it's not violence. It doesn't cross a man's mind of violence, regardless of how a woman speak to him. A man is going to. Then you're not talking to a man. You're talking to a boy.
Have you ever watched what is it, Shiraz?
I understand all that. But as a man,
a true man,
as a true man, no, as a true man, despite whatever woman has, violence doesn't cross his mind.
Women, we gotta live in reality.
I would like to add, if I can.
Yeah, go ahead, Osa.
I believe that it's only an issue in that type of form of communication with a man and woman if the man doesn't feel like what he's saying is being expressed or able to be heard. So if he's constantly speaking and what he's saying is literally, falling on deaf ears, that would make a man upset because he's passionately trying to express to you how he feels and he's not being heard. But a man doesn't receive that from every woman. The average woman who's not even aware of herself or how she's even showing up in a conversation will cause that conflict. But if a man has a space, if we could just be quiet, let that man speak for a moment. But also, as women, we need to have that same space for the man. It's not a one-way street. We need it on both ends.
We don't get that.
But if men men don't get that. Yes, that is when, you know, the aggression may come in, and when they get mad and they don't know how to express their emotions. So yeah, it turned into rage. It turned into wanting to break something.
My thing is this right here. Y'all are speaking. Okay, so this whole conversation is about the divine feminine, correct? And so we're talking about, like y'all said, a woman who's understanding who she is. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about the divine feminine. Let's talk about the divine masculine in the same way. Yes. Because to sit here and say, oh, he getting aggravated, he getting mad, he about to do something violent to me. Do you know how long I'll argue with this black woman right here? We can go back and forth. She told me all type of shit, and she ain't never been in danger.
Ain't never
Hell no, man.
That's
listen, she can talk how she wants. I might check her ass, but she's never in danger. Yeah. That's the part I had a problem.
We are the providers and protectors.
If you make a black man mad, he's just gonna go upside your head.
Well, I know.
I'm one of the most emotional
everybody
dudes we
is
know.
the exception. I understand everybody is the exception to the rule, but generally speaking, average and below, which is the majority, I'm saying that
the majority of men what?
I am saying that. You never know.
Yeah, but those I would say those are men that's not dealing with a divine feminine woman, though.
I can't say because wait a minute.
Those are men that's not dealing with a divine feminine.
Hold up, because I have my sons are over 30, so I have to communicate with them as a mother, right? And they had their own life and all this kind of stuff, and I might say something and it's like, what you mean? And, you know, I'm doing this, and it's like, okay, I say something else. You think they don't buck up, get aggressive? They don't like what I said? It don't matter how I say it. You might not like what's being said.
No, you might not like it. Self is the measuring stick of the world. If you raise violent young men, that's what you do. Ain't no all black men. You liable to violence.
I don't do the black man thing. I do the all men thing. All around the world, man.
You just said majority. Maybe the majority in your household.
No. I've researched this. I know I'm not talking about majority.
Or maybe just based off of experience. We can only share based off our own experiences.
Scientific information and data, average and below, statistically speaking, most men are not operating in a divine masculine energy. Come on, let's be real here. When you look at the statistics,
only in this society.
Time
if
out.
you go to other societies and other cultures,
no. India, Africa.
That's why they got passport bros.
And
that's why they got passport bros
because they suckers. But nevertheless,
passport bros suckers.
Yeah, they are. But I'm saying that in terms of average and below, a lot of men don't communicate well. And as a defined feminine, it's our responsibility. We have to hold ourselves accountable because statistically speaking, domestic violence is real. Mm-hmm. Men killing women is real. This nuclear family where the man is feeling some kind of way and his family is a hostage and he take it and you can't say nothing. That's real. Is that in my life? No, but I don't have to be in my life. What created
that?
So, I read the
what created
numbers.
What created men to go that distance?
I blame everything
suppression
on
man.
I blame everything on patriarchy.
Right, so you blame everything on men.
I blame everything
patriarchy.
On patriarchy.
It starts with the man on top, right?
No, it starts with a system.
Yeah.
Right, with the man on top.
It starts with ideology.
And with the man on top.
I don't know. I can't.
Patriarchy, when you talk about the pyramid of patriarchy, it's the man on top.
If you want to say it, if
you can clean up all you want.
That's your idea.
Does patriarchy start with a woman on top?
It could have. It could have been.
No, not could have. We talking facts.
The ideology could have been taken.
Ideology is man on top
and recreated. So I don't know who. I don't know. I'm just saying the effects of it are the effects. I wasn't there 2,000-3,000 years ago when this system was created, in slavery and all that. I'm saying
we go past slavery. We go.
Yeah, we
go to Egyptian time.
That's what I'm saying. From down there, we still came through slavery. We came through civil rights. We came through this. And now we're here today. Mm-hmm. We're not gonna act like I'm not gonna act like there's no issue with domestic violence.
All those years that you sit there talk about, right?
Women and men having the need to dominate women. Mm-hmm. Men drawing a source of power from women. I'm in their households, and I'm the man around here. I'm not gonna discount none of that. We coming into a new shift, a new phase where men are understanding as well. That this is not the way it go. Might don't make right.
When we talk about divine femininity,
because I want to lighten the topic up a little bit, or at least the conversation. Speaking about the divine feminine energy, or just feminine energy in general, like on the planet, the divine feminine energy is rising within us all. So this is making all of our emotions, everything that's in the darkness, come to the surface. So a lot of women haven't truly met their fully feminine essence. They're meeting it now, and a lot of men haven't met the feminine essence within them, and they're meeting that now as well. With women, yeah, we do have more, spaces where we could get together, where we could reflect that. We have these circles where we get together and just embrace and allow ourselves to just be raw and vulnerable. With men, they don't necessarily have that container, So
this
women-
is what I wanted to piggyback on, right?
I wasn't done, but go ahead.
Our mind developed, right? You said what?
I said I wasn't all the way done.
Oh,
That's
go
why-
ahead, finish. No, go ahead, finish.
Okay, so dealing with this feminine energy rise, I know this is it's truly bringing about balance on the earth. We're going back into times where the matriarchal rule is starting to elevate or at least even out versus it being this hierarchy where it's this white man on top and all these ideas are implemented from a man that's not even our skin color that came in and pretty much broke our family up.
On that, yeah.
But our systems, the governments, everything is
We're
all
only talking about
settled.
the small society on this whole world.
Fair. So
Contemporary times.
yeah, again, this is bringing about balance, though. We come in here to balance the playing field, where the woman is not necessarily under the man's foot, but she's standing directly next to him and being that balance. So this is a time of healing. This is a time of the golden age.
Equal to yoke.
This is the time where
and be helpmates.
this mama energy is, starting to radiate. And this is where the mama energy comes more to the forefront because, again, she's not just a mama for herself and for her children, but also for the men. No. And our men, absolutely so, especially even in partnerships.
Okay, I don't look at a woman that I'm with as my mama role.
You don't have to call her your mama, but her actions and the way that she moves,
speaking.
her essence, her archetype is going to resemble that of a mother.
Cause see, my mother is sitting over here raising me, nurturing me, right, and caring for me, right. That's a whole different aspect as me being in a relationship. We are equaling our yoke. I'm not equaling my yoke with my mother.
Well, let me ask you something though, champ, right, real quick. Do you not want those qualities to be in the woman that you have for your child?
What's that?
The motherly qualities.
A woman like your mother.
Shouldn't you see the motherly qualities in her? And shouldn't you experience them to
no,
a certain extent?
Right.
Let's make selection.
So, if I have a child and I have a daughter, right, those motherly attributes that they have, her mother teaches her that. Her grandmother teaches her that. I don't teach that. So, right, my relationship with a woman is different than what my daughter is growing up to learn. She's going to learn what she needs to learn from another woman. I can only raise my daughter to be
you said that if you had a daughter, and I
understand
where you went. And I understand why you went that route, but I'm not talking about just in sense of her raising a young girl. I'm talking about what if she has a son. I'm talking about her ability to be a mother. Period. I'm not talking about her ability to raise a woman.
Yeah, right. So what that have to do with me?
Mate selection. We're talking about mate selection.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, shouldn't you see motherly qualities in the woman that you marry, that you plan on?
Yeah.
So and shouldn't you experience them to a certain extent? I'm not saying that she should baby
the woman you spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah, no, I wasn't
saying
when you're sick, shouldn't she come to him and take care of you, bring you food
I don't
and
want,
shit like that?
I don't want the same. I don't want. And it's the different dynamics is holding me accountable. I don't want the same experience with my mother with my mate.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
I don't want to say
right.
I wasn't saying that at all either.
We're talking about the attributes of nurturing. We're talking about the nurturing and attributes, right? So it's a different nurturing that my mother gives me than my mate gives me.
I don't even like when a woman calls me daddy. I don't even like that shit. Like,
that is cringe. It's very cringe.
Just like daddy, come on.
That's real cringe.
Daddy's home. If I call you daddy, just know I'm stroking the shit out of your ego.
Right, so that's a different dynamic. That's what I'm saying. That's a different dynamic.
That's not what I was speaking on though. But I see what
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I was just clarifying, talking to Mark, that you know what I'm saying. Like you said, it was like the essence of it. It's the essence, but it's a different dynamics.
It's a different dynamic, but it's still a responsibility. That's what I'm speaking on.
So
we're not talking about performative attributes. Like these are we're talking about essence, energy, flow.
Right. Because even having that energy, say like mama, like a son could go to his mama and he can vent off and he can show his ugly parts to his mama. Like he feels safe with mama. Like a man wants to have a mate that he can do the same thing with. Right. So like where it's not a threat,
a safe place.
you know,
Holding space.
if I'm safe with my mama because that's unconditional love. If I'm safe with my
Don't
spouse,
you want that from your partner?
I
Unconditional
want to,
love?
but that's not reality. It's conditional. My
That's not true. Maybe for you.
no. I'm gonna
That's
sit
a
there and
lot.
tell you.
That's
I'm gonna
a
sit there
lot,
and tell you.
Cap. You can't
Okay,
love
let me finish.
unconditionally?
Because I give unconditional love.
Let me finish.
Let me ask you one real quick question. Outside of sexual interaction and physical, intimate interaction, right? Do you not hold the same love and care for your wife that you do your daughter?
Yeah, I do. Right. When I speak on unconditional and conditional, right? What a woman is attracted to the man more outside of physical attraction to his performance. A woman is attracted to that man's performance. If that performance go below average, that love changes. You know what I'm saying? For most women, I'm talking general.
Unfortunately,
General.
you unfortunately averaging below. You are right. That is majority because
Right.
Because
But hold on. But when a man is facilitating a relationship with a woman, and we sit there talk about her performance, it's held at a lower standard than the man's performance.
Being checked and ridiculed.
You feel me? So whereas this woman, because we're going to base on physical attraction, and she has to bring this to the relationship. You know, do this, and that, right? So the man comes in, has to provide, protect, lead, facilitate the relationship, right? What 4 attributes does a woman have to bring to a relationship?
I don't know, but I'm for myself.
What 4 attributes
for that
does a
question,
woman has to bring to a relationship?
I don't know
Because
because
women not bringing them 4 top attributes, we are loving her unconditional.
Well,
No matter if it goes up and down.
Again, it can't be
Because
compared.
most divorces is based on the women, not the man.
It can't be compared, though.
Yeah,
in my
right, 'cause
opinion,
we're different, right? But never. I just think that all this idea of, you know, this performative shit that we into, this conditional shit that we into, that is
You
what,
talking about men? Shit.
No, I'm not.
shit.
I'm talking about women too. Women who have all this performative qualifications for a man. That don't say nothing about who the man is.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It says something about who she is.
Hold on.
No, because
a man's
because if
performance
you
is
meet
supposed to be
somebody-
based on his
wait,
principles,
wait a
morals,
minute.
values, and integrity.
Yes. But
So that talks about the
outside-
man.
There's outside forces as well. You have
But
to
you
take
might
external.
not be the
you
woman
have
that
to take-
merits that type of fucking shit.
You have to take external, you know, stuff into environment. Where were you raised? Where were you taught? What did you see? What is your actual life experience? Have you had any education? What type of work have you been? Have you traveled any? All that goes
Travel?
Yeah, because you see different cultures. You see how other cultures operate and what they do. You can broaden your own ideas and your own perspectives, right? So all that's. But if a man is like energetically there for you, and you know, equally yoking you energetically, that performative stuff is within the universe, within, you know, ability to manifest. And so you don't have to be like, oh, my love is subjective to if you do X, Y, and Z, because you have the foundation and we can create X, Y, and Z. So I don't believe that love has to be unconditional. And if you're seeking for, I think if you give it unconditional love, then it puts you in a space to more so.
Man,
receive.
when she was talking about the barbershop talk, when men sit there talk about unconditional love, I'm about to wrap it up.
Yep, it's
when
time
they
to
talk
wrap it
about
up.
unconditional love, men don't feel unconditional love. The average man today, the general man, don't feel unconditional love.
Because men consider love as supply, service, and sex.
I mean, there are people walking
we
around
about
with
to
a
end the
bag
show on
full of
that one?
conditions. But yes, this wraps up our talk about divine feminine energy today. Again, there is a huge difference, between just being feminine and embodying the divine feminine energy. So, the key is to do the work, to love yourself, to be an open, expressive channel of yourself, to be vulnerable, to trust your intuition, but to become like godlike, and to operate in that. Do the healing work and don't cause more healing and trauma, So that wraps us up. We will see you all next week. Peace and love. Tapped in. Talk. Signing out.
Peace.
Good night and good day, everybody.
Warning. You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.